The tiny human woman stood in the center of the council room, flanked by her secretary Carla Ramirez and her bodyguard Stonkill. 82 inches of blood, bone, and metal. Humanity has asked for this meeting in order to address the discovery of a proposed course of action that could become very costly to those involved. 40 years ago, when humanity petitioned to join the League of Planets, we were laughed at and subjected to derision. We were informed that in no way were we going to be allowed to become the 8th members of the League. However, you graciously allowed us to become a trading partner only, neither an ally nor a friend. No doubt you saw humanity as no threat, hence our non-admittance to the League. Humanity and the League have both done well from this arrangement. Trade is beneficial to both sides. Having said that, that left humanity free to do as we wished, without the approval or censure of the League. The records state that my predecessor told you that you would probably regret the decision to hold humanity at arms, tentacles, paws, length, in order to retain your control of League space. The time for that regret seems almost to have come to pass, for we have evidence that the League is going to evade the Crete system for their resources. There was general hubbub amongst the League delegates. Cries of monstrous lies, foul slander were heard from all sides. The Lorcanet delegate shouted, "Prove it!" She turned to look at him. The name of your stealth ship that performed the survey on the Crete system was the Dranic. We were surprised that you still used it, bearing in mind its involvement in what really happened on Ayanari 3. The Lorcanes delegates' facial feathers stood straight up and turned grey, a sign of extreme shock. He sat down heavily, refusing to look at the other delegates. Bearing in mind that the Lacretes are not even at the level humanity was when Zararan invaded Earth 30 years ago. We had no space navy as such, just a few armed freighters and shuttles. I am sure you all know what happened. We kicked 7 bells out of the Zararan when they landed, captured their tech, and repurposed it for ourselves, and in the process furthered our development by several hundred years nearly all at once. I invite you to visit humanity's mission statement from when we contacted you all those years ago. I doubt if you took us seriously back then. Mission statement. If you are our friends or allies, there is practically nothing we would not do for you. If you are our enemies, there is practically nothing we would not do to you. Born and bred in the East End of London, Michelle Dubois, humanity's representative, walked forward and drew herself up to her full height of 5 feet 1 inch, and somehow seemed to dominate the whole room. With the nearest breath of a French accent, she said, "Listen very carefully. I shall say this only once. Humanity considers the Lacrete to be our friends." Behind her, Carla Ramirez shrugged her shoulders and shook her head sadly, and proffered a 50-credit chit to Stonkill, who nodded and stowed it in one of his pockets. "I have only one thing to say," said Michelle. "Choose wisely."